So I got back from Angeles City this weekend. I didn't expect to go to Angeles City. You're alive, and I can see you. Can you see the desktop? Desktop or just video of me? No desktop computer. All right, it's not working properly, and I don't want to spend too much time messing around with that. Um, so I'm just gonna get started. So Los Angeles this week unexpectedly. It was one of those nights where, like, God, Friday night we were out. It was a Lips first annual pageant, and it was a big deal. And like everybody that we knew was there, and all the girls were there, and they let us take video upstairs in the go-go bar for the first time, um, and we were pretty faded, and it was a fun night. And then from there we went to Royal, where I had to meet my girl, and she was with this table of VIP dudes, guys that we know, guys that kind of do similar thing to what I do, where I'm like, I always tell her, I'm like, bring like 3 or 4 girls, let's party. And they tell her the same thing. They're like, hey, Nikki, come join the table, bring 3 or 4 girls, and let's see if we can connect. So there were like 2 faces at that table I'd never seen before. Now I know these other guys. Um, I wouldn't say they're my favorite group of dudes. They're a little older. They're European, but they've been nice to us. They invite us to their condo. They make us these incredible dinners with these giant cheese wheels and like really quality stuff. They're the kind of guys that don't like to pay for girls, and I have no problem with that. You know, am I a little sketchy about them using my girlfriend to pimp her friends out to them? Well, yeah, but they're all adults and they can do whatever the hell they want. And she wants to invite her friends to dinner to meet a couple of dudes. It's on them. Like, there's no arm twisting. So I usually just go to dinner, and everyone's cool. So she goes out with these guys Friday night, and I show up at the club pretty late because I was out with my bro. Private van, his Willie's Jeep. I don't know if you've seen the Willie's Jeep video, but we had another like cruising night in the Jeep. It was fun. I'll tell you about the Willie's Jeep later. Incredible piece of history. You'll see a video coming up on it. And whew, at some point, like after I get there, like my girlfriend's partying, she's drunk, we're having a good time. But then she just goes into this like blacked out state. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And then like the next thing you know, she's sick and I'm carrying her out of the club. And I'm like, somebody fucking roofied my girlfriend. Like, what the hell is going on here? And not that anyone did. Maybe she just drank too much. Maybe she just ate something bad. Who knows what happened? But I'd never seen her like that, and it's been like 4 years. So the next night, she sleeps till like 5 in the afternoon, and I wasn't far behind her. And my bro messages me, and he's like, dude, we're going to Angeles. I'm like, well, it's 5 o'clock, man. We just woke up. I said, I think we need a break after last night. I told him what happened. He's like, no. He's like, I'm picking you up at 7. I'm like, no, man, that's 2 hours from now. I got to eat. I got to shower. I got stuff to do. And I'm not leaving her tonight. I'm like, I don't trust her friends to take her out. And he's like, well, just bring her. So we go up to Angeles, another all-nighter till the sun comes up, and I'll post a video of that this weekend. It's outrageous. Like, it's unlike any video I've ever posted before. It's got a lot of like straight bro talk in it. It's got my friend in it, and he's out of control. He's just insane. I couldn't stop laughing. I was crying all weekend. I was laughing so hard. So Sunday night we get back, and then he's like, hey, I got a date, and I want your girl to meet my girl, to vet my girl, to see if she's full of shit and all this stuff, because there's so many players here. And then Monday night, he's like, no, I'm taking her out again. We're going out to dinner. She likes your girl. Come with us. And then we don't get home till like 5 in the morning. And then it just never ended. And then it was our birthday. And then it was just like, oh my. So last night was the first night off in 6 days. And I was talking to my other bro, and I was telling him about the Italian guys, right? And he had a really interesting take on it. He's like, nah, man. He's like, nah, these guys businessmen, these guys working here, He's like, what's the deal? He's like, you want a girl? They're like, bring you chicks. Mostly because, again, they don't want to pay for it. But and then this is there'll be another level of don't want to pay for it. So he's like, when my bros come up to me and they're like, yo, man, do your thing. Go get us some girls. He's like, what do you mean do my thing? He's like, I'm going to go get those girls. And I'm like, you're going to come to the table. We're going to pay for everything. You're going to drink good booze. And I got 2,000 for you. And goes with one of my bros, it's 5K. And his boys pay that, like straight down. And a lot of these guys are Chinese. You know how much you're going to pay to bar find a girl? Now, granted, the girl they're getting at the KTV bar is an Asian goddess, a porcelain Asian goddess, because gentlemen from China or Korea tend to have a type of female that they like, and they're the type of female. Feel free to, like, get into the comment section there. I'm not even super on topic right now, but I'm gonna get there. So we talked about a little bit of lifestyle. We talked about girls, right? So we talk a little bit about club culture, and we're going to talk a little bit about girls and your time in the Philippines. And this is what we were talking about. So give me a minute. Somebody told me these relics, vape pods, are illegal in America. You can't get them. And then I said, well, that's insane. Why? And they're like, well, because they come from China. And I'm like, yeah, well, okay. All right, so you're a guy. You want to come to the Philippines, right? What are you going to be here 5 days? You're going to be here 10 days? You're going to be here 20 days? And if you're anything like me, you want to meet a girl. And not only do you just want to meet a girl like here or there, you want to meet a Filipino sweetheart that could be your dream goddess. You might even be on a, what do they call this, bro passports or passport bros or something? Wherein the reason you're coming here is because you've been chatting with a Filipina online and you want to meet her in person. And you know her and you think she's sweet and you've already video called with her and you want a relationship. If you're going that route, like the organic, hey, shout out, Frankie. Hey, thanks for joining, man. You've been really active in the comment section on all my videos and I appreciate your support. All right, so you're a passport bro. You're sincere. You got your girl lined up, or 2 or 3 of them. Not sure which. You're going to meet them all once you get here. And that's not uncommon. And there's nothing wrong with that, because don't think for 1 second those girls aren't doing the same thing. We're going to talk about Instagram and how they're connecting on Instagram. When I tell you the shit I see on my girlfriend's Instagram, you'd be like, dude, why do you let her have Instagram? And that's what these like Fresh and Fit podcast guys talk about. Tate talks about all this stuff, right? Now, there's a level of that that's just so real. All right, so you come in here. You either got your girl lined up, you met her on a dating site, you met her on IG, you met her on Tinder or whatever, or you want to get here and meet girls. So simple. You're either going and start swiping and making dates, or you're going to go the bar girl route. Okay. Now, I don't do bar girls. I've never done bar girls, never needed to. I mean, I just had so many awesome opportunities to make great Filipinas and absolute players, shithead Filipinas. But I mean, I'm not saying that's something that only happens in the Philippines. Give you a quote from my bro. And this guy is solid. This guy runs one of the biggest businesses here in the Philippines. He's an interesting character. We'll talk to him. Is the only country in the world where you can OD on pussy, and it's addictive. So I have another friend who's addicted, and he's literally grabbing not only 1 but 2 bar girls, every other night. Now he can afford it, and we'll talk about prices. It's not expensive. We'll talk about comparisons, and we'll talk about time, and we'll talk about your agenda, right? And that's what I'm saying, right? Are you penny rich or pound poor in the Philippines? That's what the name of this podcast should be. Let's talk about execution. Are you fronting? You got stable in the club, but you got no game. Let's talk reality and let's talk numbers, okay? Like time or money. Because if you're here for 5 days, what are you going to do? You're going to court a girl? Okay, honey, I just came into town. Come over. Oh, sorry, I'm in Pampanga. No, I'm in the province. I don't have any taxi money. Can you send me 500 pesos on GCash? Oh, so I'm an hour and a half late. Yeah, sorry, Filipino time. How much money is your time worth, and how much hassle do you want to put up with to execute and get into the action? Again, again, you have your agenda, right? And your agenda is to execute and get action. And you're either going to do that in the sincere, what they were calling passport bro way, where you got your sweet little girl lined up that you've been chatting with, and you come here and you guys have your date and you're going to get married and it's happily ever after. And that's perfectly fine. But most guys come here for 5 or 10 days and they want to meet a girl and they want to throw down. So you're on Tinder, you're swiping. What are you going to find on Tinder? You're going to find sweet, sincere girls. You're going to find filtered pictures. You're going to find girls that say they're in Manila but are actually in Pampanga or Laguna or wherever, or Cavite. You're going to find girls that use pictures from 10 pounds ago or 15 pounds ago. You're going to find girls that are going to hit you up for 3, 4, or 5K, go out with you. And you're going to find sincere girls. You're also going to find a lot of trans girls. And that's just the way it is. So you're going to wade through that. You're going to take the time. You're going to swipe. You're going to chat. You're going to meet. You're going to invite. You're going to set up dates. I've taken so many guys out the last couple of months. And they're like, yeah, I had a date lined up tonight, but at the last minute she canceled. Or she canceled 30 minutes after she was supposed to be there. Kind of shit. How valuable is your time? So I said, like, you're here for 5 days, you're here for 5 days. What are you going to court her? You're going to take her out to dinner? Oh, wait, you're gonna do the route, say, let's do coffee date first. And then if we hit it off, then we can do dinner. That's what, 2 days out of your schedule already? You're going to put all your eggs in that one basket, that girl you thought you lined up when you come here, right? Well, let's also talk about morals in line with your agenda. Oh, no, sorry, I can't get a bar girl. It makes me feel weird. All right, well, we'll talk about the comparison then, okay? In America, you take a girl out for dinner and a movie, right? Somebody told me dinner in America right now, I said, dinner and a movie, you're going to spend more. He said, I spend more on dinner and a movie than I did in the club tonight. I'm like, dude, you spent $80 on dinner and a movie? He's like, no, I spent $80 on dinner. And that's cheap. A movie pushed it up another $40. He's like, plus the tickets, and whatever popcorn shit I bought at the concession stand. He's like, I spent like $130 that night on her. It was dinner and a movie, and I had to I pick her up and drive her ass home, and I got like a couple of hot kisses in the car, and I was gone. I'm like, you spent $140 on dinner and a movie. I'm like, well, I hope it was an enjoyable dinner. Here's what $140 buys you in the Philippines. I just did a video where I was at Lips and I did the conversion for buying a bottle of vodka and 2 mixers, right? Which me and my bro got smashed on. $38 for the bottle and like another $4 for the mixer. So I spent $42. We split it, $21 each for a night of drinking in this club. And this was a bar girl club. Lips, one of my favorite spots. So after we drink about half the bottle, we were warmed up. I'm like, bro, you ever been upstairs? It's like, go girls upstairs. It's fun. We should go. And I'm not a bar girl guy. I just know the owners there. I know a lot of the waitresses and the guys. They all know my girlfriend. So I take him upstairs. He lives here, but he's only in town for 3 days. And we go upstairs. The couple of girls I know come over. Hey, how you doing? What's up? Nice to see you. Here's my bro, and he was looking around. He's like, I like that girl. I'm like, dude, buy her a drink, She'll come over. She'll spend some time with you. She'll give you a lap dance. So he buys her a drink. Let me just check this stream thing. They're canoodling. I'm rapping with another bro that's there. Apparently, I was very drunk because he's like, we were trying to leave, and he's like, we couldn't get you to leave, man. You wouldn't shut up. So I was like, okay, whatever. I kind of fuzzy memory of this night, and I'll tell you the story as it was told to me. So why am I talking about my bro? So the point is he was in town for 3 days. He wasn't going to go to Neon Nights and try to dance and like pick up a girl and, buy her a normal drink or 2. He was like, I'm going to Lips. I'm going to find a girl that I like's hot as fuck. and I'm going to bar fine her and then pay her whatever she wants for me to take her home. So I think the bar fine there is 3,500 pesos. So that's 70 US dollars. Not even. That's like 67 US dollars. So he dropped 67 US dollars on taking the girl out. Compare that to your dinner, right? Then he drops another, what, 4 or 5K to spend the night with her. So that's another 90 bucks. So right now he's in for $150. So he's spending $150 to have the time of his life with a goddess hottie. Granted, she's probably also does this with a different guy every night or every other night or sometimes twice a night. Who knows? That could have been dinner and a movie in the States, but no. For him, it was night of drinking in the club, grabbing the girl of his dreams. So that's the time versus money comparison. That's the hassle versus, reality conversion. That's your morals in a nutshell right there. The girl that you take out in America and she fleeces you for an $80 dinner and a $50 movie and a ride to and from, and she doesn't pay shit for it. How is she any different? The only different is she's not banging you, right? So who's more of the opportunist? That always blew my mind where like you take a girl out and she's like, well, no, you have to pay. You're the man. I'm like, my time is worth what? Less than your, wait, you're telling me I got to pay for your time, but you get to ride on my time for free. Why? Because potential that you might put out for me. No. You want to go out with me? Maybe. Oh, Tony, thank you, man. That's very generous of you. I appreciate that. So you want organic. This is the idea. I call organic is the girl you don't have to pay. The girl you go into, say, Buccaneers on a Thursday night, and it's ladies' night, and they're drinking their, 500 peso all night ladies' drinks, and it's 11:30 at night, and she's drunk and she's feeling good, and she sees that foreigner that she likes. She's like, I want a foreigner tonight, because sometimes Filipinos are like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've been grateful for that. And they come right over. They put their hand on you like, hey, baby, how you doing? I know my name. I'm with my friends. Let's dance. Yeah, that happens. But you want to spend your whole night leading up to that. You want to wait for that girl to get in the drunk zone. You want to target her and hope some other younger, buffer, richer dude doesn't like make the move before you do. You want organic, but you also want the action. So what is the reality? You're not going to come to the Philippines and go down to the Palenque market and shop for organic food and then take that food back to your condo and cut up all the tomatoes and the onions and the garlic and you're not going to cook while you're here. You're going to go to restaurants. You don't want same way you want organic food, but you don't want to cook organic. You want organic girls, but you don't want to work organic. So you end up paying for those girls. And this conversation all started because of the Angeles City weekend, right? And I was telling you, I'm like, what are you going to get on? I said this before. What are you going to get on Tinder? You're going to get filtered photos. You're going to get old photos where they're 10 or 15 pounds lighter than they are now because everybody got fat during lockdown. You're going to get girls that say they're in Manila but are actually in Pampanga, Cavite, Laguna, wherever. You're going to get girls that ask you straight up for money. You're going to get ladyboys or trans girls. I don't really like the term ladyboy. My bro, he's got a queen here. She's probably she's a legit beauty queen, and they've been dating for a long time, and he's good to her. But like he goes out and he's like, wow, and he's in the club and we're macking on girls and we're partying and we're doing all this stuff, and then like he's like, oh shit, my girlfriend, and they'll like run over to her and he'll like put his arms around her, like, oh baby, I love you more than anything in the world. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. I'm so sorry. I got distracted. My bro's here. This, that, and the other thing. What can I get you? You want a beer? Should I get my car? You want to ride home? Like, it's labola, right? Or like sweet talking. Like, and I've noticed this with my girl too. It's like there's a level of behavior that you need to adapt to once you have a solid girl here. And then there's bro culture and there's modern Pinay cultura. So many. All right. So I started to see. All right. So was it last night? No, last night we took the night off. The night before, we take my bro out to dinner. Well, he takes us out to dinner because he asks us to come out. He takes his new girl out. He wants my girl to vet his girl, buys dinner. We go to Dr. Wine, the nice little swank place in BGC. They're drinking inside because it's too hot for them to sit outside. I'm sitting outside because my bro's outside, my other bro, the party bro from the night before, from the Lips pageant, which I'll show you some video of soon. I'm supposed to set this goddamn live stream up so it shows not just my face, but it's supposed to show my screen too. I haven't figured out how it's supposed to be working yet, but it says I'm streaming. It says Mac OS stream capture. I don't know. But guys are telling me that they're only my face. So if you see a desktop, let me know in the side comment because I'll show you some stuff. That was the idea. All right. Am I advocating getting a bar girl? No. Am I saying it's perfectly all right? I'm saying yes. And why is that? We talked about passport bro mentality. Come in here, getting a girl, making it organic, making it sweet. You already have her lined up. Doesn't mean she's not going to waste your time. Doesn't mean she's not going to cancel on you. I got solid bros here, guys that are younger than me, buffer than me. They come here, they got cuties lined up. Like Friday night, they might get a date with her, and I'm like, look, I got this girl lined up. And then they go out with her, and everything works out, and they have a great night. And then the next night, he's got the same girl or another girl lined up. And he's like, oh, yeah, she canceled. What are you up to tonight? Like, even though it's lined up, and even though they're solid girls, and even though he's not paying them, but he is taking them out to dinner, and they're having a good time, and they might go on a couple-day trip to Boracay or whatever. Like, he's paying, but he's not paying her. You know what I mean? Mr. Biology, thank you for joining and making a comment there. I'm supposed to have this set up so it shows me in like a little window on the top of the screen as my desktop. I don't know why it's not working today. But it's my first time doing it, so I just figured I'd try it and figure out what's going on later. Maybe I need to add a scene. Hold on a second. Add scene. Scene 2. Okay. Don't have any sources. Click the sources button. Okay. It's supposed to be Mac OS screen capture. And okay. And that looks like it's right. Method display capture. Okay. And then add other source is supposed to be video capture device. Okay. And that's supposed to be the FaceTime camera. Okay. And it says it's working, but I don't know. My sound is down. That's probably because I was distracted and not quite looking at the screen and talking into the mic. So let me get back to my notes here. I got distracted. So Bola Bola, I was saying, you know, like this guy Sweet talks the hell out of his girl. Like, that's all they want to hear. And they don't just want to hear it. You got to back it up. Like he backs it up. I back it up. What is my food and drink budget there? My budget every month is $1,000 US a month. And that includes rent, food, travel, taxis, booze, dining out, everything. $1,000 a month is about 9,000 pesos. 9,000 no, 1,000 a month is about $900. Sorry. However, I often come in around $500 or $600. Just because I budget 1,000 doesn't mean I spend 1,000. Yeah, it's not bad, man. I'm doing a video now that showed my November expenses, and I would put it up on the screen now if I could get this goddamn live stream thing to work properly. That shows you the breakdown of my numbers: November, December, January. In November, I spent, I think it was 37,460 pesos for the entire month. That's like not even $700. And I was out every weekend, partying and dinner. December, I spent a little more than that because I moved. Penny rich, pound poor in the Philippines. Do you own your condo or rent? You still in the same one? So I don't live in a condo anymore. I would never own a condo here, especially after lockdown. If you ever saw any of my lockdown videos, you would know that you were basically a prisoner in your own condo. You were locked in it, 22 hours a day, 7 days a week. You weren't allowed to have any visitors. You weren't allowed to have any guests. You weren't allowed to go out, even in some condos. Like the guard that's employed by your condo association somehow has the authority to prevent you from walking outside of your condo. And they also have the authority to prevent you from going into your condo. You got to have like some shoves a thermometer up your ass every time you want to walk in the goddamn condo. And if your ass is a little too hot, then they say, sorry, sir, you can't enter. That's right. They don't let you in your own condo if you have a temperature. So we would always, when we went out, we carry a bottle of ice water, like a thermos jug of ice water in the pack. And, before we went in the condo, we're using these like Chinese thermal scanner things, and they're shit. Like, space. It's got exercise, and that's where I do my combat arnis. And then it's got a built-in bar. It's got a giant kitchen. It's got a laundry area. It's great. Savoy Hotel, 6 p.m. arrival. I'm looking for a close place. The pool is really the only perk to the condo, and the gym. But during lockdown, and even a year after lockdown, some condos are still like, sorry, you have to schedule your time at the pool. There's only 6 people allowed at the pool at a time. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, I pay dues here. I pay to live here. Part of that is the pool. The pool's open from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. or 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I should be able to go there anytime I want. No, sorry, sir. There's a limited amount of people that can go in the gym. There's a limited amount. Can you sign up? I'm like, yeah, I need to work out 11 to 12. Sorry, sir. That time's taken. How about 1 to... No. It's too much of a hassle for me. I pay too much, and I wasn't paying a lot. That one condo that you saw me at the pool, I think I was paying $25K a month there for 1 bedroom. That's not even $500 a month. It wasn't bad. But I pay less here for 3 or 4 times the space. All right, we already talked about some lifestyle elements. We talked about the cost of living in the U.S. versus dating in the U.S. versus dating in the Philippines, and is going out, getting a bottle in a club with your bros or with a girl that you met or a girl you haven't met yet, and just going to the club and paying to meet that girl any different? No, it's not. Dinner and a movie is the same, literally, as getting a bar girl. Now, granted, the girl you go to dinner and a movie with, you don't know if she's been intimate with as many guys as the bar girl has, but then again, maybe she's just a lying, entitled, playing slut too. Maybe you're like the 4th guy she's dating, and she's banging the other 3 and just using you for dinner and a movie. There's so many players, no matter where you go, and it's not just the Philippines. That's what I was saying. Like, passport bro, going to get a wife mentality versus the morals of coming here and just dropping cash to find a girl. So not last night, but the night before, I was telling the story. Bro takes us out. My girl to vet his new girl. We go to dinner. We go out to party. We're in the club. And then my girl's like, no, this is how you got to take care of your man in the club. This is gold. Like, and I'm taking care of her. I'm watching. I'm making sure she has what she needs to drink. I'm making sure there's no jerk offs coming around to the table. Not that there ever really is. Because the guards in there take care of you. We'll talk about them in a minute too. And then she starts giving me a lap dance. Now, we're in a club where you can get lap dances, right? Not that's a lap dance club. It's not a go-go bar. It's a dance bar that has working girls. So I think the working girl drinks in there are 440 pesos. That's $8. So you can go in there. You can buy a girl an $8 drink, and she will give you the sickest lap dance you ever had. She'll also sit with you and talk to you and cuddle with you. You buy her a second drink, and that lap dance could easily turn into a face dance. And I was showing some videos of that the other night on Manila After Dark. And And I've seen the guys, they slip the shirt aside and the boobies come out, and then they got like little nipple action going. And then I've seen guys like slip their hands in the panties, and it's like 2-3 drinks. So that's what, $16, $24 for 3 drinks. And this girl is practically having sex with you in the club. Like, and you didn't bar find her. Granted, clothes are still on, but it gets very, very intimate and naughty. So that's what the guys go there for. But when you go there with your girl, who's young and hot, and she's bringing in your bro, and the other girl that's kind of inexperienced, she starts showing. Hold on a second. She starts showing that other girl how to handle her man. So she starts giving me the lap dance, right? Now, when you're a guy in a club that walks in with a hottie and she's giving you a lap dance in the club, they either think, well, he paid for her in another bar, or he's the luckiest guy in the world. It was a fun night, but the story's not over yet. I see a question come up. How hard is it to get test in Anavar? I'm assuming test is testosterone. You can't get it here locally. You have to either order it from a bro who has a source, have a doctor order it, which is expensive as hell, or get it shipped from China, which is all possible. So you can get it. It's just not easy, and it's not cheap. Anavar, I don't even know what that is. Sorry. I take 2 supplements. Well, 1 really. I take creatine, and I eat a lot of protein. That's all I do. The testosterone trick I use, and believe me, it works. There's 2 of them. 1, eat a shitload of watermelon, but not just watermelon, closer to the watermelon rind. So we were making watermelon shakes, but I can't really do that anymore because of the sugar. So I started, and this is a Tate thing, started eating raw onions. Chop up the raw onions. I sometimes I do a little cucumber and tomato in there to make it a little more palatable. A little bit of sesame oil, a little bit of extra virgin cider oil, fucking vinegar, and I gobble those things down, like 3 onions a day, and my testosterone is through the roof. What's the name of this place? I don't know what this place is. BGC? BGC is Bonifacio Global City. It is the most modern city in the Philippines. It is where the third world meets the first world. There's no jeepneys. There's no tricycles. There's no trash. There's no power lines. I mean, everything's underground. It is a very modern, very clean, and most expensive city in the country. Got a lot of BGC videos up on the channel. I got a BGC playlist. Oh, the strip club. All right, so the story I was telling you where we were at, that wasn't a strip club. That was Neon Nights. And I got a ton of Neon Nights videos up. I don't title them Neon Nights, but if you look at like the last 4 videos I posted, you'll see us in Neon Nights, and I clearly indicate what club we're in the video. Neon Nights, as I described in a recent video, is the best of all worlds. It is a club with a dance floor, and not many clubs have dance floors on Pete Burgos. It's got organic girls in there. In other words, girls that just go in there to drink, party, and dance. Like 2, 3, 4 of them. Oh, god damn. Monday night we were in there. It was 2 a.m. I was surprised the place was so jumping. 3 girls come in. A fucking 6, a 7, and an 8. And I'm just like, wow, that's it right there. That's my wheelhouse. That's what I'm talking about. Like, those girls aren't hookers. Those girls are here to have a good time. Those girls have their own table. They're paying for their own bottle. They're dancing. A 6, 7, and 8. So what's your game when you want the 8, right? You got to work the 6 and ignore the 8. We'll talk about that another time. But that's what I'm saying, why I like Neon Nights, because you get the organic girls. There are freelancers in there. Not as many, though, because there are working girls there. Girls that go there, they're not the dancers. And there's the dancers. I mean, Jesus Christ, they're sexy as hell, and they're dancing in like these choreographed shows, great shows, much better than freaking movie night. And you can bar find one of those girls. Like, we were in there 2 weeks ago, and the girls liked one of the dancers, so they bought her a bar girl drink, and then she came over and grinded on the girls. If they wanted to bar find her, they could have taken her out and banged her. Well, the female equivalent of banging, whatever that is. And what do they call it? Scissoring? Nah. So hold on. My American girlfriend would love Neon Nights. We'll be there July 1st. Well, bro, Neon Nights is a bomb. It's such a fun dance club. We go there, we dance, we meet organic girls, we meet dancer girls, we meet bar girls there, girls that work there that are bar girls. The mama son loves me because I'm always bringing bros in there, and they quite often they're like, why am I wasting my time with these bitches on the dance floor? It's like, I like to dance, and I like to work the scene. Some guys like to hunt, but at the end of the night, he's like, look, it's late, I'm tired, she's hot, I'm gonna bar find her. So I bring over the mama son. He drops us $3,500 to get her out. That's what, $70, not even $67. And then he has to negotiate to pay the girl for whatever he wants, which is usually another 3, 4, 5,000. So 60, 70, 80, $90. He's in a club. He dropped 140 to bring a girl home. And he has the time of his life. Now, if he met a freelancer in there, he skips the bar fine and just pays her the straight up fee. So that ends up being what, $87? And I didn't even get to the Angeles part yet. We were just in Angeles City, and is it far from Kino Airport? Neon Nights. Neon Nights is in Poblacion Makati. Makati proper is not far from the airport. Like, depends on traffic. If you get in at 11 at night, you'll be in Makati in 20 minutes. If you get in, in the middle of the day, maybe 30 minutes. If you're in rush hour, maybe 45 or 50 minutes. It's close. A couple of different areas of Makati. There's the Ayala area, the business district, and then there's Poblacion Makati, which is the barangay where the red light district is. All right. So then next night, it's my girl's like birthday or something. And she's like, I want to go out. It's my birthday week because I'm supposed to take her to Boracay. And I couldn't take her because something came up, and I'll take her next week. But she's like, well, I still want to go out. So I'm like, oh, Christ, this is like the fourth night in a row. So we go to Buccaneers. We meet some friends. We start drinking. And then they're like, we're going to Neon. So then we go to Neon, and she's there with her bro friend, his girlfriend, and me. And my friend's texting me, and he's like, I'm going to Coco Rock, which is a bar 2 doors up, which is pretty much it's not a go-go bar. It's just a bar that has a big pool table and working girls in it. And they are hot. So I'm like, look, let me check on my bro. Like, obviously, he's in Coco Rock. Something's going on with him and the girl we vetted for him the other night. Maybe it didn't work out. Let me go over there. Bad idea. Is Cebu a good place to settle down if you're single? I'm not going to say no. I don't really know. I've been to Cebu. I've never lived in Cebu. I did meet a girl in Cebu. I did get lucky on Tinder in Cebu. Cebuanas are supposedly the most beautiful of Filipinas. I know Manileño Filipinas that say that when you tell them or they hear you're with a Cebuana, they get immediately jealous. Their English tends to be better. Yeah, I would say Cebu is probably a great place to settle down if you're single. You're going to meet a hot girl there no matter what. It's the Philippines. You're going to meet girls. Like, the trick is, if you want to meet a nice girl, you've got to have your values aligned, and you can't start the relationship on money. If you start sending her money or start financing her or start doing whatever, that is what she's going to expect for the rest of your life. It has to be based on values, goals and values. If you're talking to a woman and she's like, well, no, I just need like 5,000 this month, or I just need a load so we can chat online. I'll be like, look, honey, I like you a lot, but I want to talk about goals and values. And if you're hitting me up for money and I don't even know you yet, it's not going to work out. Like, just push them out, arm's length. And sometimes they'll be like, oh, okay, sorry, I'm too poor to deal with it, and I'm just going to have to lose you then. And other ones will be like, okay, it's all right, I'll figure it out. Draw the line at money. Unless you're willing to support her. And then support her. But be prepared, if you're not living here, she's probably got 2 or 3 other guys doing the same thing. And that's not because she doesn't know how to survive. Like I still have complex issues here. Like my Google number just expired and now I'm fucked. And now I can't get like my bank wants to send you a 6-digit code. My US bank tries to send me a 6-digit code, but my Philippines number won't accept it. And then I can't get it through my open app because it lets me call the US but doesn't let me get text codes from the US. And now I got to get Vonage so I can get text codes from the US. And that's what are the cheaper options to look for? Condos or rent? Is it FB? I don't know what FB is. Oh, Facebook. Facebook. Yeah, you can get some good deals on Facebook Marketplace here. That's how I found this house. Facebook Marketplace. Is it Phil's easier to meet the? Is it easier to meet the fold approach or via dating app? Bold approach. Both. You got to work both if you're single. It's easy to meet girls like that, but you also want to line them up on the dating apps. Larry P. at Billy. I recommend taking a 2 to 5 week vacation before even talking to anyone. You can plan a vacation around Tinder dates. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, definitely get over here for a month and look around and even find a dude like me that you can work out a little arrangement with, and I'll show you around. I'll show you where to go. I'll introduce you around. I'll give you the inside information. I'll show you how the game works. I'll show you where condos are. Can you date multiple girls, or is that dangerous? No, I've dated multiple girls for years. And some of them I was honest with, and some of them I wasn't. And I'm not proud of that. But it was fun as hell. That's life. I took a bro out the other night. Oh, God. You're not going to believe this. This guy was a king, man. He was thrown down big. He's like, I'm getting a big table at a fancy club. Bring like 4 girls. I'm like, okay. So I talked to my girl. I'm like, honey, get 3 or 4 girls. We show up at the club. Pays for everything. I started introducing him around. He's like, I like this girl. Single mothers. I dated a single mother for 3 years. I'll talk about that in a minute. He likes this one girl. They're like dancing, canoodling all night long, but he ends up going home with another girl. And then the next day he's like, dude, I fucked up. He's like, I took the wrong girl home. I'm like, okay, it's okay. Just what's the problem? He's like, well, I'm going out again tonight and I'm supposed to meet the other girl. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'll see you tonight. She's coming to dinner. Everything will be cool. Like, I'm like, dude, just don't say anything. And he's like, okay, that's enough. I'm like, you think she's going to say something? You think my girl's going to say something? Well, I sure as hell ain't saying something. I'm like, just don't say something. Just don't say a damn thing and show up for dinner and everything will be fine. So later that night, we're at dinner and then we go to another club. He drops even more. We got some of the same and 2 different girls out that night. Now he's all over the one that he originally wanted. And he's like, dude, she wants to go with me, but she's afraid I'm not going to come back in 3 months or 2 months or whenever my scheduled trip is. He's like, the trip isn't scheduled for 6 months. And I looked at him straight in the eye. And I was just like, lie. like, the government does it. Everybody does it. She's probably doing it. Just tell her your business trip scheduled for 2 months. And then in 2 months, call her up and be like, look, babe, the trip got rescheduled for another 2 months. Look, I'm not saying I'm the most honorable guy in the world. You know, I'm not saying I steal and lie and cheat all the time. What the fuck? I'm just saying you got to play the game. So why did I start talking about that? Is it easier to meet and then Tinder dates? And can you date multiple girls? That's why. So this guy scoops up 2 of my girl's friends in 2 days with no issues whatsoever, just by keeping his mouth shut. Yeah, you can take one. Before I met the girl I'm with now, I would literally have 2 and sometimes 3 dates a day. I was calling them double and triple headers. And those dates, they weren't always coffee dates. Sometimes they were like, come to my condo dates. And these were with girls I'd already dated. And after a while, I literally had like 10 and sometimes like 15 girls in a rotation, all friends, all girls that I dated, I would take him out. I would buy him dinner. We would have a nice night, and we would become connected. But that got too tough to manage. And literally, I was like pushing girls away. I was like, nope, sorry, I can't do it Tuesday. How about Wednesday? Oh wait, I can't do Wednesday dinner. I can do Wednesday lunch. It became I like needed a friggin' agent to schedule. It was so much work. It was fun. It was fun as hell, but it was also unfulfilling. So yeah, it's easy to date multiple women here. It will eventually catch up to you. Dating single mothers, what's that like? It can be fantastic. It can be absolutely fantastic, especially if you're childless like me and you meet a woman that has a beautiful child like my ex did. I think towards the end of my relationship with my ex, the only reason I didn't want to leave is because that little girl loved me and called me daddy, you know, and I raised her for 3 years. I put her through school. I taught her English. She was like my little girl. And the thought of leaving her still to this day tears me up. Like I can't think about too much. Otherwise I just go into a funk. It was amazing. It was like coming to the Philippines and having like an automatic family. When I first met this girl, she was so wonderful. She was so fantastic. She was so sweet. She was so grateful and appreciative. She ended up falling off a motorcycle, smashed her fucking and it was never the same since. She just literally turned into a brain damaged person overnight, and the damage manifested itself in behavioral ways that were just evil. She just did and said evil things, and then there's no way you can have a partnership with a woman that doesn't have the emotional trigger control. But my advice would be, if you're like on that sincere passport bro sort of vibe where you say, I want to meet a girl online, like you go to, I don't know, the one I sponsor or sponsors me, christianfilipino.com, or even if it's like, I forget what's the other one called, Filipino Cupid or whatever, and you actually meet a sincere girl and you actually think she's your beautiful goddess, and you think she's sweet and you think she could be your number one, and you want to come here and meet her, and she has a little kid, there's nothing wrong with that. Chances are you're going to have to consider, you know, playing a father figure role and paying for that child to go to school and little things like that, healthcare. So those are all things to consider. But if you were a single guy like me that was childless and wanted a ready-made family, I basically had that for 3 years in the Philippines. If you look back on my videos, you'll see that girl, once she sort of once we settled down, she ended up finding a girlfriend who she really liked, and then she moved that girl in, and then it was me, her girlfriend, the little girl, and we would go out at night, and those two girls would be like, "This is our boyfriend," and like it was absolutely wild. Is it hard to stay single? Been a bachelor or living with a girlfriend? Okay, so it's hard as fuck to stay single. Absolutely insane. I get in trouble all the time. My girlfriend called me over the other night. She's like, some fucking bitch just showed me a video of you making out with some blonde at the bar. And I'm like, what? Really? I'm like, I don't even like blondes. She's like, yeah, well, I saw the video and I thought we had an agreement that you wouldn't fuck my friends and you wouldn't like do stupid shit like this in public when you're drunk. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. We do have that agreement. And obviously I fucked it up. At which point I went into bola bola mode, which I was talking about earlier. We're like, baby, I am so sorry. I love everyone. Anything, what can I do to make it right? Blah, blah, blah. And I don't just say it because I would back it up. It's hard as hell to stay in a relationship here. But the thing is you found yourself a good girl. And she's beautiful. She's half your age or less. She's been loyal. She rocks your world every day. She cooks for you. She cleans the house. Not that you ask her to. They just do this. She is always with you, except when you don't want. Now, some of them do have jealousy problems. That's for sure. This one did at first, but she got over it. And you go out and there's hot babes that are even hotter than her. She's hot, like super hot, like a 7 or 8 hot. And you go out and there's other 7, 8s, and 9s, and you're just like, oh my God, they're so hot. And every now and then one shows interest in you, and you're like, oh, I want it so bad. But you gotta look at the long picture. You gotta look at the full perspective. Be like, you know what? I'm not the youngest you know, spring chicken in the yard. I'm like, you know, middle fucking age practically. And like, I'm not the most buff. I'm not the tallest. I'm not the richest. All right. So I'm not the greatest catch. She might not be the greatest catch. I might have a flaw or two. She might have a flaw or two. But when you get it good and it's 10 times better than you're going to get in America, why the hell are you going to play on that? You just got to be like, you know what? I was a kid in a candy shop for a long time, and the candy was yummy and the candy is good. But, you know, I think I'm going to stick with this roll of sweet tarts over here. And you just suck it up. And then it does become more of a richer to grow together. We do have a lot of fun together. We were out the other night. She was giving me lap dances. It was just fun. Like, then we were out the other night and I'm like, I don't feel like partying. I was just reading like on my phone. I have all e-library on my phone. And she was like, yeah, okay, just as long as you're good, I'm good. And every now and again, like we were in Angeles last weekend and she's like, baby, we're going to get a girl tonight. So like, you know, it's not like it's the end of the world. So yes, it's hard to stay single, but it is worth it. She's calling me right now. Baby, what's up? I'm live streaming. Oh, thank you. Just set it aside. I'll be down in a little while. Thank, babe. There you go. She calls me to let me know the food's ready. It's not bad. Is it hard to stay single being a bachelor? So yes, it's hard to stay single, but it's worth it. No, I mean, it's not worth it unless you're just a player and want bar girls, and then it's totally worth it. The most girls you meet looking for fun or relationship, they want a relationship. Hands down, these girls want a relationship. They want a former friend that not only will support them or will help support them, but they just want a foreign boyfriend. They want the option to get married and get the fuck out of the Philippines, but that's not why they like you. They like you because they like white guys. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like white girls. I like Asian girls. I like Spanish girls. And I think Filipinas are the exotic mix of Latina and Asian. And for me, they're perfect. I find them to be super attractive. And the same goes for Filipinas. They like the nose. They think we're attractive. They like white guys. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, you know, some of them like dark guys, brown guys, black guys, whatever term you want to use for it. Some of them like Koreans or Japanese or Chinese. They like foreigners. Let's just leave it at that. No, questions are great. They drive the live stream. But I met a girl in the club the other night, and she was cute, a little chubby, and young, and like I was wingmanning my bro, so like she was like the fat girl at the table. I don't mean to sound mean, but I'm like, let me engage the fat girl while you hit on the one you want. So I break into the group. I'm all up with this girl. He's working on the girl he likes. And I said to the girl straight up, I was a little drunk. I'm like, so girl, tell me, are you here just to have fun and party with your girls, or are you looking to hook up? And she looked me straight in the eyes and goes, I want to hook up with you. She pulls out her phone and she like, you know, does this thing where it's like, and I put in my information. It was that fucking easy. But most of them definitely want more of a relationship than fun, although many are down for fun, especially if you're willing to pay a little bit. Philippines law says a foreign guy is accompanied by a minor that's not his, it's illegal, in jail possibly, unless he's with the mother of the child, or unless he has residency, or unless the child has residency with him. Come in if you want. I need to change from Thailand. Want to give the Phils a go and settle down. Okay, that's fair. I can see why. Have you been to the slums? What's the vibe like? Is it a safe place? So I've driven through the slums. I've never vlogged in a slum. You know why? I got no business being in a slum, man. Have I met girls that say they live in Tondo and they're like, oh, I live in Tondo. And I'm like, okay, well, not interested. Because you live in a slum and that probably means you don't have shit and you're going to be dependent on me for everything for the rest of your life. And I just don't want that. I've been to, if you watch on my channel, it's 3 videos. It's me just alone with a camera. Have areas that would definitely be considered slums. Despite the fact that they're slums, they're also neighborhoods. And Makati has cameras up, even in these shitty areas. It's not Tondo. Okay? So What question was that? Do most of the girls need to change their time? Have you been to the slums? What's the vibe like? Is it a safe place? The vibe is sad, man. It's a slum. There's kids begging. There's dogs, hairless and so filled covered with sores on the street. There's shacks that look like trash dumps that are houses. You got no business being in a slum unless you're rolling with a posse and doing a documentary. What you see a good age difference to date? I'm 53. Okay, so Billy, believe it or not, I'm older than you, and my girlfriend is half my age, less than half my age, and it works out perfectly fine. Any younger, I would think it's too young, but I have 3 bros here that don't date any girls older than 22. And I've tried to date older girls here and just found like either they're annoying as fuck, they don't shut up about themselves, not because they're narcissistic, but because they're busy, they're accomplished, they're up to stuff, they're working in BPO, they're nurses, they're accountants, they're doing their thing, they're just like they have their own life, they don't have time for you. And for some guys that works. Some guys are like, look, I'm busy as hell, don't bother me during the week, we'll catch up on the weekend kind of thing. Good age difference, don't worry about it. Age doesn't matter in the Philippines. It could be 10 years, it could be 20 years, it could be 25 years, and anything in between. The maturity level of Filipina is different than the maturity level of a Western woman. Their lives are harder. They have to deal with a lot of shit that Western women never have to deal with. They grow up quick here. What you see living your life on, you need in pesos to live. It depends on your lifestyle, man. I've been able to do it here for $500 a month. I would say I budget $1,000 a month, and I try to keep it under that. But I see guys that roll $1,000 a night, or $3,000 a month. They got a big ass condo, they got a car, they're taking, trips. Depends on how much you want to spend. The difference is you got to figure all that out. Like, what is the expense? What am I going to pay for rent? What am I going to pay for utilities? Am I going to own a car? Am I going to be taking Grab? What's my budget? Can you live within the lifestyle you set for yourself? Steve, Devo, no point funking up when they chuck in the odd threesome. Yeah. What are you gonna do? You're gonna be like, no, I think I'll pass. That might only happen 2 times a year, sometimes maybe 4 times a year, but ain't gonna say no. If you ever came back to the USA and went on a date, especially in California, you would be on the next flight out. I agree. I would never go to California. I have no reason to go to California. It's just a little too woke for me. Actually, I do have. It involves the Second Amendment and standing up for my rights as a citizen, but we won't get into that. Before you move the Phils, would you do anything different this time? Any advice? That's going to have to be another live stream, man. That's a huge topic. But I did talk about what I did. I have a video up called Sell Everything, Move to the Philippines, and I would do a lot of the same. What are your top cities to date in? I really mostly only date in the Manila, and I've really only lived in Makati, BGC, and Eastwood City. So I've had considerable luck dating in all of those cities. Is it safe to ride around in a bicycle in Cebu? No idea. Probably about as safe as Manila, which isn't really that safe. There are probably areas. There's probably areas of Cebu that are a little safer, but it's the kind of thing where you'd have to drive your bicycle to that place, then ride around that mountain, and put your bicycle back on the car and drive back. Same as it is here. But I knew a foreigner guy here, that dude that lived at Rockwell. He biked everywhere. They would bike from like Manila to like Laguna every weekend and back. Antipolo. I have another dude that works on my BPO team. He bikes to work every day. They bike everywhere. He does biking weekends. You want to look at this live stream?
No, I just want to see.
Is it better you date a lady that works or not? What's your ideal Filipina? That depends on you and your lifestyle, man. If you're willing to support a girl here, then find one that doesn't work and have her make something of herself. make her take online courses, teach her a skill, get her working for you, whatever. If you're not willing to support her and you want someone that's a little more of a contemporary, then yeah, find someone that works. And then coach her too, you know. Like my girl works, she works part-time now, but I'm coaching her to how to get to the next level. How for one of my bros, how to, you know, get a side hustle going. Unless you're just rolling in dough, it's always good to have more than one revenue stream coming in. And you don't want a relationship to be based on support. Once your relationship is based on money, you don't have a relationship, because when the money stops, the relationship stops. So you base your relationship on shared values. Your ideal Filipina is loyal, sweet, and hot. What else can I say?
Hot.
She's got to be a sweetheart, and she's got to be hot, because there's a lot of hot freaking Filipinas here. And if you want a loyal girl, then you're going to have to be loyal, and she's going to have to be hot to keep you. Now, hot doesn't mean that she's a porn star in bed. Hot doesn't mean that she's just the most beautiful thing in the world. Hot just means you find her sexy as hell. And there's a million sexy as hell Filipinas here. Are women open to threesomes here compared to the West? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. My bro had one yesterday. I was in Angeles City over the weekend. I got this video of my girl. She's like, let's go find a girl, babe. All drunk as fuck. She doesn't even remember. Could you cope living in a condo with a fan only? Yeah. Depends on your condo, though. If your condo is sun facing and doesn't have the right windows, no. If it's sun facing, your condo will become a solar collector. If
remember that Luca?
Yeah, this guy.
I saw him.
He was in, is that Bellagio? Yeah. He was in Bellagio facing the golf course. Best view and like incredible view in Makati. But the window was like a floor to ceiling solar collector. Like he had to have these like blackout curtains that were like this thick and run his aircon 24 hours a day. And his windows, they're the windows that open like this. So the air can't blow in from the bottom. You need windows that open like this. And you need a balcony. So you can hold that slider open. And then on the other side, you have windows that open like this. You need a breeze coming through. All right, baby. Are you gonna be long today?
Yep.
All right.
Your food is already in the table.
All right. You think you'll be back before dinner? All right. Do you want me to shop later, or I just text you?
Oh, I need to bring money. I have to cook when I come back.
Okay, guys, give me a minute. Is my shit up there? I don't know what you need. Just figure it out. All right.
More chicken.
Okay, so I'm not gonna shop then. All right. Thanks, baby. Sorry about that. Can you cope with a fan only? When I lived in, what the hell was that place called? Tryon. We had so many windows there, the good windows that open. We had a nice balcony. And I would say, except for 1, maybe 2 months out of the year, we didn't turn on the aircon at all. And the nice thing about Tryon is something about the way the 3 buildings are there is it funnels the wind off the golf course. So if you have like an inside facing balcony, it's like wind just blasting into your condo all the time. I've seen a couple of your travel videos. Would you ever consider living in a province? Yes, I sure as hell would. I did. I lived in Bulacan. I lived in Puerto Galera. I lived in Calibo. Right now I live in a barangay, which isn't technically a province, but sometimes it feels like it. Province lifestyle is great, man. Especially if you have one near a beach. It's just super tame. Like you got to be the kind of guy that either you get in a province, you can get a good internet connection now. You have your whole life online, your work, whatever. You got your girl living with you. Province life can be great. Cheap. Budget is $50K a month. I don't drink. Well, you know, I keep my budget at $50K a month, and I drink a lot. Broke up with my Pina because she is a Muslim. Are there many Muslims? Yes. There are 3 regions in the Philippines: National Capital Region, Luzon, Visayas and Mindanao. Mindanao is a Muslim region. They want to secede from the Philippines and become their own Muslim state. I recommend you do not date a religious girl. And there are two religions I would recommend you stay away from. One, Muslims. Two, INC, Iglesia de Cristo. I'm not saying anything bad about the religion. I'm not disparaging the religion. I have no thoughts on the religion. I'm just saying that their lifestyles, in my opinion and through my experiences, do not align with a Western man's philosophy, especially if you guys are asking about threesomes. Although one INC girl was pretty wild. Love her. Can you renew your visa alone? Do you need to use an agent? Hell no, dude. Just walk into the immigration office, say, "Hello, Poe. I'd like to extend my visa, please." And they get your visa, they get your card, they stamp, they say this is how much you have to pay. You keep your mouth shut. You go to the cashier, you pay it, and they'll keep extending it for 3 years, no questions asked, unless you have like an NBI warrant or something. I just got done renewing mine for another 6 months. It was remarkably easy and even quick. Like I walked into the immigration office in BGC, filled out the form, they gave me a number. 10 minutes later, my number came up. I paid for it. I paid the $1,000 for the rush fee. I had to because it's a 6-month visa extend. They force you to pay for the rush fee. Guys, like come back in an hour, and then he's like, "Oh wait." 5 minutes later, he hands my paperwork. I walked out. What's a good condo size in square meters? Studio or one bedroom? I always go with studios or one bedrooms. Sometimes they're small, 35 to 45 square. But that's how you live cheap, man. I renewed a Makati. It took maybe 15 minutes. Yeah, the Makati office is great. Hey, Ali, how you doing, man? Thanks for joining the stream. Friend of mine, channel member. We had a nice meetup and a good time out. I think you're in Puerto Galera now. You said to the 29th or something. When you come back, let's connect, man. You've been to Davao? No, it's the Mindanao region, and I don't go to the Mindanao region because it's Muslim and it's a terrorist base of operations. Now, I use the word terrorist lightly. Some people will call them freedom fighters. They're trying to secede from the Philippines, and they use unorthodox methods to get their message through, and that includes kidnapping Americans. American Embassy does not recommend Americans go to Davao. How do you like living in Puerto Galera? I loved it. There's a guy on the live stream now, Oliver. He's MPG. Oliver, you mind if I ask you some questions? How's the construction going there? Did they finish the goddamn beach walk yet? Are the restaurants back? How's Puerto Galera nightlife? Dude, I love living in Puerto Galera. I have a whole series of videos up. Puerto Galera playlist. Check it out. Palawan is nice. Palawan is a little remote for me. And it used to be part of the Mindanao region, and they've been known to kidnap Americans there. Hey, Steven, thanks for joining. Like a place walking distance to malls and markets? Yeah, Cebu or Manila, pretty much. Although I was living in Bulacan, the province north of Manila, and there was SM Mall, like, one ride away. Do you need a bank account? Yes. Eventually, you will need a bank account. If so, which bank is good? I don't know. BPI is all right. That's the one I have for my payroll. Sometimes I have problems with it. The one that they say is best is, I can't remember. It's a hassle to get one here. So it doesn't matter which one as long as you get one. You've been in a bar fight there. Have a story. No, I don't get in fights, man. I'm a 3rd degree American Kempo karate black belt, and I have a separate black belt in combat arnis, Filipino martial arts. I don't get in fights. I walk away from fights. I buy drinks to avoid fights. I almost never have any problem because I'm just a decent guy, and I never get an attitude, and I'm thoughtful and considerate. And I tip the bouncers, and the bouncers literally watch your table like a hawk. They escort me to the bath. I go into the bathroom. The bouncer's like, "This way, sir." Flashlight. Like all I did was slap a 50 in his hand. And all of a sudden, it's like I got a personal bodyguard in a club. Hold on, let me just scroll through this thing. So yeah, no, I don't get in bar fights, man. I really don't have a story. I have a video up where I was in a bar where there was a bar fight. And these guys are like, I think I call that one. Jesus, I don't even know. It was one of the Manila After Darks that I first published before lockdown. because I could still publish that stuff. Like during lockdown, I just couldn't publish that on public YouTube. Is the oil spill a concern? Yeah, of course it's a concern. But Oliver, who's on the live stream, oh, you're the one saying it. It's okay, but the oil spill is a concern. Yeah, but you can dive anywhere if you're not worried about it. No bans on water activity. Yeah, I gotta look and see what the hell's going on with that. What's cheaper, eating out versus cooking? Oh my god, dude. You have to ask. I shop in the Palenque, which is the local market, and you'll see that in a couple of last videos I posted. I'll give you an example. I went to the market the other day. I bought a whole yellowfin tuna, right? Like cut it up into 6 thick steaks. It was 250 pesos. That's not even $5, and that was expensive. For 6 tuna steaks, that's 3 meals for me and my girl. And then I bought like tomatoes, garlic, onion, ginger, lemongrass, giant stalks of lemongrass, like 8 in a bunch, 20 pesos. 10 tomatoes, 40 pesos. That's like 80 cents, 75 cents. Onions were the most expensive. Another maybe 90 cents for like 3 onions. The ginger, pesos. It was just unbelievable. So I spent, and I also bought a bunch of other stuff. I bought some honey for her, and I bought I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't part of the meal. It was like part of just, I don't know, like it was like spices or something. I don't know. I spent $15 for all the groceries. It ended up being 6 meals. It broke down to be like $1.97 per meal. And we're talking organic, fresh meals, all whole foods, no ingredients, no processed shit, no bread, no tortillas, no